What's up, homies? Oh shit, you're all already here. Very nice.
Hey, Barack, what's up? I was just telling Alpha Joe and Sleepy Joe about my wild night last night.
Yeah, finish the story, Donnie. What did you say after she said, "What's a Dragon Ball?"
Oh, right. So she asked what it was, and I said, a Dragon Ball is me dragging these balls across your face. Ha, 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 ha.
Damn, I sat through a 20-minute story just to hear you make a stupid-ass pun. Lame as fuck, Donald.
Fuck off, sleepyhead. I am a comedy genius. I had the whole club jumping with that joke.
Jumping off of buildings due to how cringe you are, maybe.
I don't know the whole story, and honestly, I don't want to. It's time to continue on with ranking Dragon Ball, fellas, and we just got to the most hyped section. This one is going to be a doozy.
You got that right, Barry. Dragon Ball Z and GT are probably the most talked about shows in the Dragon Ball universe, both for very different reasons. One is a mostly loved and beloved series, while the other one is a great case for showing that there is no God.
I think you're being way too harsh on GT. The Super Saiyan 4 transformations are dope as fuck.
Oh, wow. The show has a new transformation. It must be good. You sound like a fucking toddler Joe. You're lucky the Superior show is up first. But I gotta say, I really don't like this format of splitting the entire saga into multiple sections. It seems odd to me to just separate the Raditz saga from the Vegeta saga, since they both should be judged together under one umbrella. Pick a better tier list next time, Barack.
This was the best one I could find, Mr. I Can't Tweet, so shut it and find it yourself next time. Or better yet, maybe one of you two slackers can actually edit one of the videos for once instead of nagging me harder than Michelle does. I came here to rank Dragon Ball sagas and kick ass, and I'm all out of ass.
Wow, love the energy, Barack. I came here to rank Dragon Ball sagas and snort copious amounts of protein powder. And let's just say, I am all out of protein powder.
You probably shouldn't snort protein powder, Mr. Rogan, but I don't really go and get swole like you youngins, so what do I know? Oh, actually, I do know something. I know that the Raditz saga is A tier. The introduction into space is wonderful. I think it was an awesome idea from Toriyama. It makes sense that Goku is an alien. I mean, we watched a whole show where this literal child can turn into a massive monkey. Sounds pretty alien in nature to me. We are introduced to Gohan for the very first time, and he looks so adorable in his little outfit. I mean, come on, look at him.
The hairs on my neck always begin to stand up when I hear you calling kids adorable, Creepy Joe. You inadvertently trigger my fight or flight response.
Fight or flight these almost 400-year-old balls, you orange twat.
Homies, please, namaste, relax, and take deep breaths. We'll get through this with the power of love and friendship.
I think I have nothing more than a bottomless pit of loathing for that fucking zombie. And what the fuck do you mean almost 400 years old? Seriously, Joe, before we continue fucking explain yourself, how old are you?
Yeah, Joe, I don't understand. Surely you can't be that old.
I must admit, I too am curious.
All right, boyos, if you must know, I was born in the year 1680 to a wonderful mother and father. Both were hardworking folks just trying to survive. My father found out that our neighbor was a witch. I mean, she just had to be. What woman knows how to read? It was clearly witchcraft, and as she stood burning at the stake, she cursed me with immortality under the condition that I chant a holy ritual known by many around the world.
That sounds like some complete Goosebumps level of bullshit, Joe.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Mr. Trump on this one. What ritual nonsense are you reciting, Joe?
Oh gosh, fellas, I don't want to scare you. It might be best to just move back to ranking Dragon Ball sagas. Very unfortunate things happen to those that hear the ritual of element 115.
Joe, I know curiosity killed the silly little cat, but we can't continue until we hear it. I mean, I'm just so goddamn curious they should call me Barack the Cat Obama.
Very well, Barry, but don't say I didn't warn you.
Quit stalling, Sleepy Joe. I'm beginning to lose interest.
Jamie, what the fuck was in that spliff?
I think it's best we simply never speak of this.
Joe, your fucking eyes rolled into the back of your head. What the fuck was that?
Sorry, Barry, I kind of blacked out for a second. What were we doing? Oh, look, Dragon Ball. Put the Vegeta saga into S tier. What a saga. I mean, the introduction to the remaining Saiyans, as well as the absolutely iconic match between Vegeta and Goku, is just perfect. God, it was so sad watching Nappa just kill all the Z fighters one by one. What a tragedy.
I agree with the devil in disguise, fellas. The Vegeta saga has to be S tier. I mean, it literally introduced some of the best moments of the entire series and showed the Dragon Ball audience that everything is different now. No longer are we all about tournaments and adventure, but saving the planet and universe from Planet Buster level threats. And this saga had some of the best character development. Take, for example, Piccolo, a guy who started off as a villain, trained the son of his sworn enemy, and even made the ultimate sacrifice in an attempt to protect him. Jamie, roll the clip of the Slugman's final words to the toddler.
Piccolo?
It's okay, kid. You're like the son I never had. I'm proud of you. Goodbye, my friend.
What an absolute stud. S tier for this saga. It was fantastic.
I agree with S tier. Goku's arrival from King Kai's planet was awesome, and watching him use the iconic Kaioken against Nappa and Vegeta was dope as fuck. ×2, ×3. Try sucking down this big old ×4 Vegeta, you little short fuckhead. S tier.
Here comes more gold, gentlemen. The absolute perfection of the entire Namek saga. The whole thing was just perfect. Toriyama really nailed it with this one. With all but Gohan and Krillin dead, the two rascals set off with Bulma in search of the Namek Dragon Balls in order to revive the Z-Pimps, only to arrive on a planet being invaded by Space Hitler himself. The iconic Frieza, what a villain, maybe the greatest villain in all of Dragon Ball. And you got to give props to his fantastic business dealings. I mean, the guy literally sells planets. What a business, he's just like me for real.
You would relate to Frieza, you fucking clown? But I do agree with S tier. I mean, it's got everything: drama, action, comedy, sadness, and of course the introduction to a transformation that would change Dragon Ball forever. Goku achieving the form of Super Saiyan.
Besides your cringe pronunciation of the greatest anime transformation ever, I agree with S tier. What a brilliant saga. Gosh, it was so sad having to watch my main nigga Krillin pop like a weasel and die again. But it led to the ultimate golden-haired warrior. My only nitpick was that Goku tried to let Frieza live. I mean, for fuck's sake, Goku, you ain't no Batman, my nigga. Just roast that rat's bitch ass. I guess it's just in his character not to kill, but still, this is literally Space Hitler we are talking about.
Gosh, that transformation by Goku was so fucking metal. Just watching Goku get angry in a way we haven't quite seen before was so metal. I don't know if you guys ever played Dragon Ball Z Budokai 1, but this cutscene still gives me goosebumps. Jamie, roll the wonderfully outdated graphics of that wonderful game.
He's taken innocent lives again and again. And my best friend, Krillin. It's over! Freedom!
That shit gives me more chills than a chalky chocolate chip ice cream brilliant saga.
I could talk about the Frieza saga all day long, but alas, we must move on. Stay still, my soft beating heart, anyway. The next saga, according to this tier list, is the Garlic Jr. saga. And my God, fellas, that was some bite fetish bullshit. I pray I never have to watch anything having to do with Garlic Jr. ever again. I don't know who the fuck thought this was good F-tier nonsense.
Yeah, that really was a crock of shit, Donald. I gotta agree with you there. I don't even know if the shit is canon to the story or not. But regardless, it was dumb. If someone out there has Garlic Jr. as their favorite character, feel free to post your address in the comments, and the Secret Service will pay you a visit. F tier.
Other than seeing Kami and Mr. Popo trapped in a bottle, which was admittedly hilarious just because, like, this little midget put God in a bottle, LOL, this saga has nothing going for it. F tier.
That was easy. Now let's get to the real meat and potatoes of this show, the Android saga, my personal favorite saga. And not just because they introduced my waifu Android 18, but because everything in this saga was amazing from start to finish. You got Trunks, the crotch spawn of Bulma and Vegeta, taking out Frieza with literal ease. We just spent like a dozen episodes watching Goku and Frieza duke it out for the fate of the universe, and this fucking badass tween just comes in and cuts that bitch into a million pieces. What a based character. Then you got the fake-out villains of a future whose timeline seems to not be going the way Trunks initially predicted. Watching Vegeta absolutely beat the ever-living stuffing out of Android 19 will never not be funny.
Ah, yes, the most overrated saga in all of Dragon Ball, the Cell Saga. Typical of you, Barack, you fucking normie. This saga was trash. It belongs in C tier.
Trump, that is the most out-of-pocket shit I think I've ever heard.
Trump, if I ever see you in public, I'm taking out 2 straps and we are walking 10 paces. We will duel to the death, you fucking mango look-alike.
Bite me, shoulder sniffer. You're all fucking normies. I admit the Cell Games portion belongs in S tier, but everything else was time travel nonsense. I fucking hate time travel. It is the biggest writing crutch in all of writing. It's true, very true. I only speak the truth. The real reason this whole saga is trash is that Toriyama didn't even want to make it. He definitely planned to end Dragon Ball with the Frieza saga, but of course money talks, and she is quite the seductive mistress. I should know, of course, I'm filthy rich anyway. The saga is dumb. The editors didn't like Toriyama's villains, so he just had to keep writing them. Cell is the only good thing to come out of this saga that wasn't Rule 34 Android 18, C tier, in my opinion.
Trump, I can understand maybe putting the Trunk Saga portion of the Android arc into B tier, because it was quite the shock having to just accept the fact that time travel is a thing, but everything else belongs in S tier. It was fucking great. We had some of the best moments in the entirety of the series. I mean, how can you not like it? The fights and setup were phenomenal. Android 18 versus Vegeta, Goku's heart virus, Piccolo fusing with Kame, Cell's introduction as the hands-down the creepiest villain in all of Dragon Ball. The Bugman fucking drinks people, Donald. He absorbs 17 and then gets his ass whooped by Vegeta only for his dumbass to fuck it all up with his pride, which is very much in character for him, not to mention the two best fights of Goku versus Cell, and the subsequent Gohan versus Cell fights are the two best fights in the entire series. Such a good arc. It all has to go in S tier. I just can't agree with you here, Donald.
No one here does. Mr. Rogan Gohan transforming into Super Saiyan 2 was fucking dope. And the death of Android 16 was heartbreaking. You're just a little bitch, Donald, on God. This has to be your worst take ever.
Just a common Donald Trump L. I'm literally mailing you a photocopy of the letter L so you can never forget this moment.
The only L being handed out will be to your entire family once you're finally put in a nursing home, you bumbling, stuttering bastard.
Fuck you, Donald. It doesn't change the fact that the Cell Saga is S tier. We are only putting the Trunk Saga into B tier because you're a giant bitch.
Gentlemen, Michelle has a bomb-ass casserole waiting for me, so let's continue on. Please measure cocks later, you dumbasses. I think the Otherworld Saga is C tier. PyCon never really did it for me, and it was cool to see Goku in Otherworld, but we just got through with the Cell games, and now it's another tournament. Not my favorite. It was just average for me, C tier.
Yeah, I agree with C tier. I don't really care about this saga. The fight between Goku and PyCon was cool, but that's about it.
I don't even know who you guys are talking about, so I'll just agree with C tier.
It's not like you know anything, sleepyhead, so no shock to me that you forgot PyCon.
You do well not to be forgetful either, Donnie. I'm sure you have a bunch of court dates you're going to have to keep track of.
Barack, if it's all right with you and the boys, can I talk about the Majin Buu stuff? I'm a big fan of that bubblegum-looking motherfucker.
Go right on ahead, Mr. Rogan. As for you two, take some notes. Mr. Rogan is always polite and on task. I swear you two are like little kids screaming in a sandbox.
I don't want to hear it from you, Barack. At least Creepy Joe only sniffs children. You straight up destroy them with high-range, unmanned explosive vehicles.
Shut it, you fat prick. I wonder why you classified all your drone strike documents. I wonder how many decades need to pass for us to find out how much damage you fucking did. Gosh, now I'm acting like them. I'm sorry, Mr. Rogan. Please go on about Majin Buu.
Thanks, Barry. So, I think we can all agree the Gohan portion of the Buu Saga is pretty lame. His superhero cosplay shit was kind of cringe. It certainly had some funny moments, but not enough for me to really rewatch this portion of the show. I skip it entirely. I'm putting it into D tier.
I can agree with that. Look how they massacred my boy. What a tragic waste of a character, poor Gohan.
Yeah, the Great Saiya men didn't really do it for me. D tier is fine. It's a new shift for sure, but I don't think it was the right one.
Awesome. Now moving on. I think the World Tournament Saga is B tier, and the Majin Buu Saga is A tier. The arrival of the Supreme Kai was pretty cool, but he kind of loses that mystery upon revealing his plan. Plus, the way the tournament ended was kind of meh for me. But assuming Goku versus Vegeta is considered the Majin Buu Saga, I mean, come on, it's the rematch of the century, fellas. Seeing Vegeta contort back into his evil ways thanks to Bob Body Magic was heartbreaking. Especially when you take Bulma into account. I mean, she was so sad, and seeing Bulma sad makes me sad. I'm sniffling a bit now. Gosh, so sad. But then you get the amazing redemption of Majin Vegeta, facing off against that fat Buu. For the first time in his life, Vegeta fights to defend the Earth and his family. It has to be the most touching moment in all of Dragon Ball Z. Pull up that clip, Jamie, and get me some tissues.
You look tasty!
You are a fool! Trunks, Bulma, I do this for you. And yes, even for you, Kakarot.
And so, one of the Earth's greatest warriors has vanished in a blinding flash of light. having made the ultimate sacrifice for the sake of his loved ones. His name was Vegeta, a proud Saiyan prince.
Oh God, the Biden tears are flowing. Oh fuck, so sad. Sleep soundly, my sweet prince. May a flight of Shenrons lay thee to thy rest.
You can't watch that moment as a Dragon Ball fan and not remember where you were the first time you saw it. There I was atop the Trump Tower, watching Vegeta make the ultimate sacrifice for the Earth, compounded and made even worse by the fact that his brave act failed. He was redeemed in the hearts of many, but his sacrifice was in vain. How tragic.
Obama sad, Obama cry, sad Obama noises.
Exactly, Barry. I feel your pain. Moving on from that, we have the Fusion Saga, which is a mixed bag for me. I'm thinking B tier Super Buu was awesome, and his powers were like cells. But on steroids, he could just take anyone he wanted and absorb them, stealing their powers and drip. He is quite literally the drip thief. And I can't think of a more dastardly villain than a drip thief. Yet at the same time, I thought Gotenks was fucking dumb. I mean, Goku showed us Super Saiyan 3, which was awesome. But now those two munchkins just fuse and bam, they have the same form. I mean, that's kind of lame. But then we go back to Absolute Gold watching Gohan enter the fray. I mean, the guy is dressed like Goku in his ultimate form and drops the hardest line in all of Dragon Ball. Roll that tape, Jamie, while I roll this blunt.
So, Hotshot, you want to fight Majin Buu?
Fight you? No, I want to kill you.
Damn, that line does go hard as fuck, though. For real, for real. Gohan is a straight fucking thug with that line. It's too bad he gets absorbed.
It's too bad he gets absorbed, Barack. But I mean, it did give us Buhan, the strongest Majin we've ever seen. And yes, he is stronger than Kid Buu, so don't go throwing a fit in the comments.
He may be stronger, but he doesn't have that same evil streak. Kid Buu is the original form of Buu. And the first thing that little midget does when he wakes up is blow up the earth. I mean, that's cold as fuck, homie. He just instantly, without hesitation, just beats his chest like a stunted gorilla and blows that shit to smithereens metal as fuck. I'd give the Kid Buu part an A tier.
I can agree with A tier. The final spirit bomb happened thanks to the assistance of Mr. Satan, which is absolutely poggers. Mr. Satan is a real one. He saw the good in Buu and almost turned the fat Buu into a good guy, but just his presence was enough to throw Kid Buu off and have him spit out fat Buu. Don't get me wrong, I'm not sure how that really makes any sense considering the implications, but it was pretty wholesome nonetheless. I vote A tier.
Kid Buu was fucking stupid. He had no personality whatsoever. He was literally just a pink monkey. That shit was dumb as fuck, C tier.
Well, yeah, Donald, he was a literal kid, and he was pure evil. All he's going to do is destroy. What personality do you want him to have?
Oh, I don't know, Joe. How about any fucking personality at all, besides yours, of course? Fat Buu had the candy thing going on, and he was goofy and lovable, kind of like when you see a fat cat. Super Buu was a rage demon that gained personality the more he absorbed people. Kid Buu just pounded his chest like a goddamn monkey and went woo, oh ha ha, woo, oh woo. What kind of dumb shit is that?
I guess you have a point, but the spirit bomb finish was still pretty baller, so the lowest I am willing to go is B tier.
B tier is fair, and I'll just go ahead and throw the ending into B tier as well. Oob is just Buu reincarnated. And the ending to our beloved Dragon Ball Z, while not perfect, was definitely satisfactory.
I concur with Barry. B tier is fair for both. Donald, would you like to do the honors of speedrunning GT for us?
It would be my great pleasure to shit all over GT. Let me get this out of the way first. Super Saiyan 4 was cool, as was the fusion into Gogeta. Now that that's out of the way, the Black Star Dragon Ball Saga was a cool concept executed in the same way Joe runs the country. Terribly, it gets D tier. The Baby Saga was dope, but finished in a bit of an awkward way. C tier. The Super 17 Saga is literally the most garbage piece of Dragon Ball content ever conceived, F tier. And finally, the Shadow Dragon Saga, while filled to the brim with plot contrivances, was at least a very satisfying ending, C tier. Fuck GT though on God, Toriyama was smoking more crack than Hunter when he made this shit.
Eat the fattest dick you can find, Donald. GT was a great show, and you're just a salty prick. I'm out of here. I ain't listening to any more of this nonsense. I let you speed run it because I thought you were smart enough to see the beauty of GT. I will never make that mistake again. Fuck you, Donald.
Well, shit, now that Joe left, I guess we will have to make a part 3 for Dragon Ball Super. God damn it, I just got more work to do now. Oh, well, this was fun, fellas, but my dinner is getting cold, and I agree, Donald. GT is dog water. Obama out.
GT is dog shit. And hopefully, Sleepyhead comes to his senses. There really is next to nothing in terms of redeeming quality. Oh well, those two are gone now. So do you have any thoughts on GT, Alpha Joe?
Not in the slightest, I'm sorry, but GT is just dog shit, lol anywho. I'm gonna go now, Donald. We summoned Kushran and wished to know the location of the 7 super blunts said to summon the Namek dragon Kushunga. I got my Kush radar and I'm ready to go hunting. Wait, fuck, Jamie, wait for me.
Looks like another outro for Big Donnie. And I have some updates for all of our lovely subscribers. Just a bit of a heads up for everyone, I suppose. The next video will be part 3 of this series, finishing up the Dragon Ball sagas by ranking Dragon Ball Super. Or should I say, Dragon Ball Pooper. Ha ha ha, I'm so fucking funny. Anyway, after part 3 will be the video everyone has been waiting for. Sleepy Joe versus Donald-based Naruto Trump in Ninja Storm 4. Look out for that shit, homies. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks again for subscribing and have a wonderful day.